What can I tell you? Well, the episode 1 of season 2, the title of that episode is 2.0. So the idea behind that is that everything that you loved about Stitchers in season 1, this is the upgrade. So even the character relationships are upgraded, and the cases will become more difficult to solve and require more thinking to get to those decisions. And the cases will even take up more of the episode. The technology gets upgraded. I don't think I've told anybody this yet. I'm serious. It hasn't come up yet. But it's a good time to reveal that in episode 1, Cameron and Kirsten get NSA badges. So they have the ability to now actually, instead of having to kind of go behind Maggie's back, she realizes, I can't stop you, so here you go. So we actually start moving that. Our kids in the lab start growing up a bit and taking on more of that responsibility, that working with dead people, and speaking for the dead implies. So and it's still gonna be fun. I don't want to make it sound like, oh great, now it's some cop show. Yeah, right, exactly. No, it's still have all the same humor and relationship stuff, but it's we're taking it to the next level.
We did have that question. I think one of our readers, she was like, I feel like they're heading to a place where they could manipulate memories. They could actually say what they wanted and kind of collude without.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. We're playing around with an idea in season 2 that's not that, but it's kind of in that world a bit. If you had a stitch and it was an imperfect stitch, or it was a stitch that you weren't fully in control of, what does that look like? So that's going to be an interesting exploration for us in season 2. Thanks. It's going to be very cool and very surprising. So,
can you talk a little bit about the relationships outside the lab?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see something like they're like lives outside the lab.
Sure. Well, the first thing that we talk about is the relationship where we left everybody off in season 1. So we had Camille and Linus. Where Linus was being a bit of a jerk, feeling jealous and threatened. So he's going to have to get over that. He has to own what he did and get over that, so that he can grow up. Because I think in episode 1 he talks about he works in this lab, and they're dealing with corpses and broken lives, and then at the end of the day he goes back to his bedroom in his parents' house, right? So it's so he realizes he's got to grow up, with which Camille is looking for. She doesn't want a boy, she wants a man. So is that evolution for Linus something that Camille will respond to? So they have that, not at liberty to disclose anything about poor Cameron, may he rest in peace, about his fate, but the fact that even as far as that last stitch, when Kirsten is in his mind, and we know he's not dead at that time, because we're still in that 4-minute period where his brain is still active, but if he were to survive, it's quite an if, but if he were to survive, what is that like when you know that a person that you really care about has been in your head? Did they see stuff that they shouldn't have seen? For Kirsten, the first time as a little girl, when she was stitched into her mom, who was living at that time, stitching into a living person broke her. What does stitching into a living person again do? Does it make her worse? Does it make her better? Does it have no effect? So that's going to be an interesting. These two, if Cameron should survive, will have shared a very an intimate connection that most people never have, or nobody ever has like that. So what does that do to the relationship, right? And Fisher, if he should survive, he comes out kind of very, he's faced mortality in a way he never had to before. So big tough guy. What is, does that do anything to him? Maybe not. I don't know. But who starts seeing him in a different light? That he's not this impenetrable thing, but somebody who hurts and can bleed. who steps up to kind of make sure he's okay, right? And we're going to find out all sorts of really interesting things in relationships. Brothers that we didn't know existed, come into the picture, and sons that we never met. And there's all sorts of we're going to really explore the particularly family relationships. It was like season 1 was sort of the creation of a family, and if anybody here's ever had a family, you know that dealing with family sometimes is a messy business. So what is it like? Okay, now that I got this new family, how do I deal with my new family? And what happens when other family members come into it? We have a really nice thing with Linus's parents, who were so great in season 1. So they'll be back, and Linus's decision to move out, how does that affect his relationship? So again, I make it sound like this is going to be the best darn drama on ABC Family. It's not. It's like I said, we still have all the humor, but we're not afraid to look at our characters in a very grounded and honest way, and have fun with it at the same time.
What's been the most challenging for you?
Most challenging for me is hanging around these incredibly beautiful people all day and not feel like a little garden gnome. It's like, oh God, can you guys be any taller and more handsome? No, it's just, it's great. Like my kids see I do these 14-hour days, 16-hour days, and I come home and I'm energized, and they're like, aren't you tired? I go, no, not at all. This is great. I'll make up something. It's oh yeah, it's terrible. I can't stand it. But it's just not. It's no challenge. It really is. It's fun from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep.
She was saying, as they all say,
Kyle, who had never met Tesh before the show, I think they put up something on Instagram last night. They were, they're having throw night in the hotel. It's like, it's just everybody's really, really gels very well. It's a really nice group of people.
So, and they can grow together.
Yes,
right?
yes, exactly.
And their characters.
Right. Yeah, very much so.
Now you talked about the idea of how do you go forward in the relationship after somebody's been in your head.
Yeah.
Is there some issue or something that you would love to tackle with this story, with this construct of being able to get into somebody's head?
Yeah, a bit. I mean, it's funny. We have such a wide blank canvas of what we can do.
Right.
So everything's on the table as we're developing the season. It's like, do they develop some kind of almost telepathic ability? I don't know, but